move in our mornings different paces, right? Anyway, got my coffee. Coffee, towel, desk, charger is tangled up on my stand here. Come on. Oh, this is horrible. There we go. All right. No one wants to watch that. Replay numbers are going downhill as I try to set up. Haven't even shared my link yet. Oh my goodness, Naomi. Happy New Year. I'm a mess. Here we go. There we go. Good morning. Good morning. I got out of the shower like a few minutes ago. And so I am still not even put together yet. I'm like, this light is so bright right now. I've been thinking about getting a ring light for posting on TikTok. You know, I had a ring light and I liked it. It seemed to work well. The part I did not like about it was, hey, why are you two fighting, huh? Go do your zoomies off my lap, not on my lap. Go on. Yeah, I hear you. Maybe stop instigating, huh? I know. Anyway, the part I didn't like was the way that it reflected on my glasses. That was the part I didn't like. And it didn't seem to matter where I put it. Like, okay, cat, I swear to God, let go of me. You don't, just because you're not on my lap doesn't mean you don't have to go instigate her or start a new fight. You can just go cuddle somewhere. Anyway, and there were all sorts of tips that I tried. I love Molly Mahoney, the prepared performer. Wow, that's bright. I don't know what I did. Anyway, Molly Mahoney is the prepared performer. And like, she gave me all these tips, and you can see them in some of my older videos of like, put the light up here and then take your glasses, and like, if you just kind of tilt them down a little bit, no one can really tell that they're like an inch above your ear instead of on your ear, and like all this stuff. So I tried all of that, and yet you could still always see the ring on part of my glasses, and it just was so distracting. I hated it. Like, I just hated that glare. Right now I've got, like, you can probably see it in the glasses. It's a big old box thing over the light bulb. It's like some kind of diffuser, but it's so big that the glare on the glasses doesn't, it covers the whole lens. You know what I mean? That is precisely what that means to cats. So try it. There's some, you know what you can do? There's some cheap ones on Amazon. I mean, like under $20. Grab one of those, throw it up, see if you can make it work and make the glare work with a $20 one, then go ahead and start buying like one of the more expensive, nicer ones or whatever. But if not, at least you've only wasted 20 bucks. Try erase boards. Oh, hold on. I got to share the link. Hold on. And then, oh, Taylor. Yee! I am so excited. Hang on. Let me share the link before I forget. Put your butt down. No, all the way down. You're purring up a storm, and your butt is going up. All right, butt down. Okay. Okay, okay. All right, tell me about your dry erase boards real quick. Don't know where you would put it. Oh, yeah. Is storing it, that is the problem. You want to do that. I rearranged the entire room for those dry erase boards. Ah, that's amazing. I just don't know what size and if I want the one that's on a roll or actual whiteboard. I feel like I would want the one that I could roll around. Mostly because I do a lot of pacing when I'm trying to write and plan. And so I would want to, like, if I were pacing in the kitchen, for example, I would want to bring it into the kitchen. Good morning, Sabrina. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready for the most ridiculous unboxing ever? Look what I got. Look what I got. Y'all, I'm telling you right now, I am in what, seventh heaven? Is that what you call it? I don't know. Whatever is heaven, I am in there. That's not, you can't see that. Dry erase clipboards. And there's 6 of them. There's 6 of them in here. Pack of 6. I don't know if I'm reverse for you or not. There's 6 of them in here. And yes, I already took one out. Ugh. Trying to do this around the cat, by the way. So far, I have 2 big ones for characters info and the other for world building and roles. I remember stuff later. That's so awesome. I see mine having multiple sticky notes. Yes. Right? Clipboards. So, let me open this. They are, so how this started was, could you put your butt down, please? No, you don't get the plastic. What are you doing? All right, if I put down the plastic, will you get off my lap? All right, here, go eat it. Weirdo cat. Okay, anyway, y'all know I love Rachel Peterson, right? And I was taking her training on, it's called Go Graham Grow. Go Graham Grow. G3. I'm one of her beta testers for that, right? And for some of her training videos, instead of like a whole PowerPoint presentation and all that, she grabs a clipboard with a piece of paper in it. And then she grabs a marker and then she just writes on the clipboard, right? That started me down a whole rabbit hole. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, and who sent these to me, doesn't matter, it wasn't me, but anyway, it started me down a whole rabbit hole where I discovered that they have dry erase clipboards. So now I have a 6-pack of them. And then, and it's nice because as much as I like this one a lot, and I love this one, and it's double-sided, and like, you can like stand this up so like it can sit, you know, like on a desk or whatever, which is why I got it originally. Originally, I bought this one for doing live sprints on TikTok. And what I wanted to do is live writing sprints, so this could sit on the desk while we were writing. That was the original purpose. But anyway, it's clunky and heavy, and as you can see, it's a lot bigger to hold up than the clipboard. So now I got this. And then, to go with this, obviously, because I got, hang on. I needed erasers. Are these not the best erasers ever? And, you know, some plain sharp ones and some markers, but I can't wait to start using those. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. How are you, Farah? Mounted those on your wall. I have 4 notebooks for different things. Yee, you missed to clip whiteboards. Good morning, Jessica. Carney, how many rewrites on average for your very first novel? On average, honestly, I think that's going to depend a little bit on the writer, and the style in which they wrote. So what I mean by that is, like, for a brand new author, let's say you're working on your first book, but your experience comes from, say, maybe you were an editor, or maybe you worked for a publishing house, or maybe you work at a literary agent, or, you know, maybe you were a VA for a long time or something. Your experience in those roles prepares you a little bit, at least, for some of the mechanical bits of writing, right? And depending on what your role was in any of those jobs, maybe even helped you with story structure and publishing trends. So you would probably need fewer rewrites in those cases, simply because you start with that bit of knowledge, whereas a lot of other authors who don't, let's say a mechanic goes to write their first book, they don't have the same experience from within the industry to lean on, so they're learning it after they've written a draft. So there's a little bit in there. Also, if you're a planner, as in you sit down and you like to plan out your entire novel or series ahead of time, and you like to do your character development and whatever your research ahead of time, you're going to need fewer rewrites than if you were a pantser, where all of those things come to you as you write. So it's I hate to say it depends. I know I hate to say it. It always doesn't. That's not right. It never sounds like a real answer. It sounds like a cop out, but it really does depend a little bit on you. That said, as a new author, be prepared for a minimum of, I would say, 2 substantial big rewrites. Like, maybe more. It depends on what prompts them. Like, it depends on, are you going back after a break and rereading and going, wow, I'm not this person anymore, or that was a huge plot hole and now I have to rewrite this entire section to fix it? Or is an editor like helping you find those plot holes or whatnot? Like, that, it may depend a little bit, but I would say be prepared for 2 big ones and possibly more. I'm on my 4th official one, but I had maybe another 3 of just rereading for spelling and grammar. I put a picture of the dry erase boards in the general chat on Discord. Ooh, I'll go look at a second. You do as many as you need to in order to tell the story, but the trick is not to be caught in perfection, because, yeah, perfection doesn't exist. In the words of the great James Welsh, perfection does not exist. Figured out, very cute, thank you. Figured out it wasn't the flu I was sick with, it was COVID. Ah, okay, well, now that's making a little bit more sense. Rachel Pedersen, Pedersen. She's the queen of social media. That's her title. No, but she does a lot of social media marketing training and stuff on different channels. She's an integrated marketing expert. So she knows how to break down channels, and then she knows how to make them work together. You know what I mean? Like, she can teach you Instagram, and she can teach you how to use Instagram with Facebook, kind of thing. In her course that's out right now, there is a good possibility the beta is still open if you want a really good discount on it. But the course that's open right now is called Go Gram Grow G3. And it's really good. Just say it. I'm not an affiliate. I don't get money if you go get it, but it's good. I'm doing everything I can to force myself to be a planner. My brain hates it. I bet your brain could love it. What am I looking for? Lip stuff. Like, what do I keep looking for? There's my coffee. Where's my, there, it was hiding behind my coffee mug. I'm like, where is my lip stuff? Things for advice going to self-publish. You can still hire an editor if you're self-publishing. In fact, a lot of people would say that you should hire an editor if you're self-publishing. I will say the more experienced authors tend to hire editors even when they're self-publishing, simply because they know themselves. However, I am not going to pretend that every new author out there has the money for an editor. Like, editors are not cheap. So my advice for you going that way is, if you're going to self-edit, make sure you give yourself time. Finish the book. Don't worry about the edits. Finish the book. Then do not go running off and being like, yay, and racing through the editing and racing through the formatting and running off and celebrating and hitting publish. You will regret that. It will come back to haunt you. You will, every time you see like a little typo, or every time someone gives you a 3-star review or under, you will feel that twinge of, oh, I wish I had done it better. Take your time. Do not rush it. Give yourself a really good break. And then join my Discord so that you can get into the editing course. But so that you can self-edit, which I have to re-record that course. But like, take your time with it. Do not go flying. Like, celebrate in a writer's group, right? Don't like race to hit publish and then celebrate with friends and family and show everyone your book. Celebrate in the writer's group. Everything lined up after it was figured out, like, yep, that's why my muscles have been so weak and I haven't felt like writing. Aw. Are you feeling better now? I gave up trying to be a planner. My characters and ADHD won't allow it. I have ADHD and wild characters, and I was able to move over to planning. It really does. You do have to know how your brain works in order to make it work. I will say that most of the planning techniques out there did not work for me for a very long time. And I was so hardcore against it that I was like the type of person who was like, if someone said, oh, you should try planning, I was like, yeah, no. Like, I refused to even try it. I was like, no, it's not going to work for me. I have to be able to just write. And it took me a while, but I did learn how to do it. I think my problem is when I do it, my brain wants to plan everything, and then I sit down and the character goes, what plot? And I think, yeah, that's part of the ADHD, is that when you start hyperfixating on something, you really start hyperfixating on something. When I plan out my books, I leave room, because ADHD, I have to leave room for that flexibility, because it's the flexibility that makes me feel good, right? But having those milestones helps me. And the way that I look at it, and what started this was the fact that, remember, I'm a ghostwriter first and foremost. Like, by trade, I'm a ghostwriter. I write for clients. I do write for myself as well, but have you noticed I don't have a lot of books out under my name? I've written 62 books. I'm about to finish number 63 for clients. But I have all of like 2 books out in my name. And so what I did in 2022 was, I was like, because I was coming up on my 20-year anniversary as a ghostwriter, and I had to like start thinking about it. And I was going, what was so different? Why can I sit down and actually finish within 2 to 3 months a book for a client, full-length book, but I can't seem to finish one of mine? I can't seem to like get focused on one of mine. What is the difference in my process between when I'm writing for a client and when I'm writing for myself? Because it's like still goals. It's still, you know, all that stuff. I mean, it's a little bit different because the client goals is I get money, and my goals is I get a book out, right? Like, you don't get paid money for the book I mean, directly. But I had to sit down and go, where in my process is different? And a lot of it was the fact that I was sitting down with my clients and we were planning out their books. That's what helped me keep my focus, was having the plan. Whereas I would get onto my book and start, heading down a rabbit hole and never knowing when I needed to get back. You know what I mean? Like with the client books, yes, there's flexibility, but I know where I need to go. So if I'm headed too far down a rabbit hole, even now, if I'm researching, if I'm cleaning my kitchen, and all of a sudden I'm in the bathroom across the house, on the other side of the house, and I'm going, wait a minute, I never even finished the kitchen. Like, at some point, I do realize I haven't gotten back there. My plan was to get in there, not the bathroom, and I can redirect. And so I started taking all of those techniques from my ADHD in regular rabbit hole techniques and applying them to my writing instead of pantsing. And for me, I found it easier. They get thrown into the wood chipper. I tried to subscribe, but it said no phone. Subscribe. Oh, I was like, gotcha. I feel that so much. It's easier when other people provide the ideas. Yeah, that's true. Probably. Good morning, Kimmy. Happy New Year. Can't subscribe on a mobile device. To what? Oh, to the YouTube? Weird. But see, now my pantsing need comes out in my plans. To the Discord? Oh, you have to have, I didn't know that. Yeah, you have to have a laptop for it? That's weird. I didn't know that. I'll go in and look. Because I didn't know you couldn't subscribe to it on mobile. That's weird. I'll look. Anyway, I get my pantsing muscles, they come out in my plans. Like when I'm doing plans, you guys have to realize when I sat down to plan out the book that I'm currently writing, my outline, my plan was like 16,000 words. Is like, and of pure pantsing to get it done, and then go, oh, and then this happened, and then go back and, oh, okay, so that means this happened, and then go forward, and 16,000 words of a plan that really is just a pantsed telling of the story that now I'm able to go back and write. So it's not like I never pants anymore. It's just that I use the pantsing to make my outline. Word won't let you subscribe on mobile. You have to do it on a computer. Tasha! See, I didn't realize that. I thought you could do both because I get all of these notices from Discord. And they're like, you have to pay more But you know what? You don't want to do it. Actually, you don't want to do it on mobile anyway. You don't want to do it on mobile anyway. I get all these notices all the time, and I didn't really think about it until 2 seconds ago. But I get these notices in email from Discord about the pricing and in the FAQ and whatnot. And it says that if you subscribe on mobile, you have to pay more because Apple takes 30% of the revenue. And so Discord ups the price when you try to subscribe through Apple to balance it out. So you don't want to subscribe anyway. You'd be paying more. You want to get to a laptop and subscribe that way anyway. Or get to the desktop version somehow if you can do it, like through your browser on, if you can get through the browser on your phone instead of the app. You don't want to do it on the app. It's 11. See, and I priced it at $8.99. Now, it varies depending on like countries and stuff, but my Word membership is $8.99 is what I priced it at. So if you're paying different, that's something else raising the price. I knew I was missing something on the Discord because I was feeling so lost in some conversations. So yeah, sorry. So the Discord is free, and almost everything in the Discord obviously is free. So you can adopt a plot, you can adopt a character, you can do the writing sprints, you can, we're doing the book marketing challenge that you can join this month. I have Discord on my Mac. Oh, but I use the browser. I use Chrome. I don't use the app. So that might be different. Because I just go in through the website. Anyway, there's the subscription, which is Word. That's 2 channels. That's the paid subscription inside the Discord. I got it through GoDaddy, and it ends up being around $6 for that, plus my website. When I look on the mobile app, it says $11.99, so I'm going to wait and do it from my computer when I can. Yeah, save the $3 a month. Save the money. Because you know what? I get the same no matter what. Because Apple takes their cut, Discord takes their cut. And I get the same $2 for each of you. No, I get $4.50 no matter what. So you may as well pay the $8.99 if you can get in through the website. If I subscribe on web, can I still access on mobile? I believe so. I am almost positive. But I don't actually know for sure, because I didn't know you couldn't subscribe on mobile until about 18 minutes ago. So I'm not 100% sure. I would think that, yes, you can still access it because it's based on your account. I think wherever you set up the payment, that's what the payment plan is based on. And so as long as you don't pay for it through iOS, you should be fine. Who is that? It is too early for a doorbell. Oh, maintenance. I told him to come at 10. I'll be right back. Hi. Sorry, I thought I selected 10.
No, 11.
Kitchen.
Yeah, let me just take a look first.
Okay. Need more coffee, right? I need more coffee.
Your garbage disposal is working properly?
I'll be right back. Yes, so that seems to be, that's working just fine. It's this left side, and you can see it's draining super slow, because when I sent in the picture, it was still up to here, and I haven't touched it. But over the weekend, it was like up to here, and so it's just been draining super slow.
Right.
I think, she says no, I'm not gonna stay here, I think she put it on that side. But she
So
said she didn't.
it's just right here. The problem is just here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make little ones.
Okay. I don't think there's anything in there that.
I just gotta move all this because I need to untie all that.
Yeah. Do you need
Just kind of a little something to put
Like
it down.
like a bowl?
Yeah.
Okay. How big does it need to be?
Not that big. Well, that'll work.
Okay.
I think.
Good, because I don't even care about this one, so here we
Alright.
go. This place has the best maintenance, by the way. Anyway, okay. Where am I? Android is just like, nope, not available. Hang on. I'm going to look this up. This is bugging me. Hold on. Let me see. No. Oh my God, I can't type. Oh yeah, it's not available for Android yet. We're working on it. We don't have any timing to share at this point, but we are actively working to bring server subscriptions to Android. So yeah, and don't do it through iOS, because there's also a thing that says, so right now I only have one tier. I call it gold. Because I wanted it to be open for, I might do a higher tier with more coaching later on. You know, something in the $20 range or something. So I just wanted the option open. So I called it gold with the thought that I might have a silver, platinum, titanium, whatever, you know, some kind of other tier system set up. And now it says, what I'm seeing is, Apple takes an additional 30% of revenue from all subscriptions initiated through the Discord iOS application. Subscribers on iOS mobile devices will see a higher price to account for the additional fee, which I have been getting warnings about. Then it says, currently we do not support upgrading or downgrading your tier mid-cycle if the subscription was initiated on the iOS app. So instead, so if I did have different tiers, basically, and you subscribe through your iPhone instead of the web app, then you would have to cancel your subscription and re-sign up again under the new tier instead of just being able to upgrade or downgrade. That's a pain. Yeah, use the web app, y'all. Use the web app. Everyone in lives on TikTok keeps calling me Lilith every time I'm like, who's Lilith? I am her. Good morning, Ember. Meanwhile, my puppy baby snoring next to me, inviting me to join. Aww. I lost versions of a client docx because my phone saved a version that wasn't updated in the cloud. Oh, no. I'm always so, like, I am so paranoid of things like that happening. And I love Google Docs now. I love Google Docs, but I have still lost things on Google Docs. So I will have it on my phone, on mobile, to do like dictation and whatnot. And then I will sit down and open it up on my computer and see myself and see both versions update before I turn it off my phone. Like, so I can see it. And I have offline, I have it set up for offline and all the things. You have a question. What's up, Ember? Your new book is on its way to me, by the way. When do I get that? It's today. It's out for delivery. Yay! Got a phone call. What did I miss? I don't know. How long were you on the phone for? I'm sorry. I don't know. Word saying, don't worry, it will save regularly. You don't need to do anything. And I'm like, yeah, well, Microsoft Word 95 gave me trust issues, right? My question is, how do I write a foreword? Ooh, were you invited to write a foreword? Oh my God, that's so exciting. Okay, so ideally, the author would be able to give you a copy of the book, even if it's like not 100% totally polished off yet. But ideally, whoever invited you to write a foreword would be able to give you a copy of the book. If they can't give you a copy of the book, hopefully they can give you like a pretty detailed synopsis of what they're doing. For example, I asked Jessica Cage to write the foreword for my book, right? So, and then I wasn't done editing it. It's for your reader magnet. Wait. Okay, well, anyway. Okay, hang on. Let me go back to my first thought. And then I have to process that a minute. Anyway, so yeah, like with Jessica Cage, I asked her to write my foreword, but I wasn't done editing the book yet. So she was like, what's your book about? So I gave her like my whole spiel, right? It was like 2 pages of, this is what my book covers. This is the information that's in it. Here's my outline. Here's the perspective that I'm coming from it, right? Because there's so many writing craft books out there. Like, what was I doing that was different than some of the other ones? And like where I was aiming for and what I wanted people to feel like when they read the book. So then she was able to, basically, it's like being an MC. You intro the book, basically, where they describe a little bit about how they know the author and about a little bit about the topic at hand and what the book is about to cover and why they are excited from their perspective, why they believe you're the right person for the book. So now, reader magnet. Okay, so what are we doing with hold on. I've never heard of doing a foreword for a reader magnet. Chose Beowulf because dragon. I'm trying to think. You see my confusion. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think. Okay, so a foreword. What is a reader magnet? A reader magnet is, it's also known as a lead magnet. And what it boils down to is you have to get into the head of your ideal reader, right? And you think about what would they like that they would be willing to pay for other than your book. Because we already know the book, right? So what would they like? What would they be willing to pay for that they will? Because if they're willing to pay for it, then they're willing to give you an email address for it. right? If you get like, here's a free book, here you go. Oh, I know what you're doing now. I got it. I'm so dumb. I'm stupid. Okay. Oh my God. Yes, you do. Okay, I get what you're doing. So you chose Beowulf as the book, and you're going to write a foreword to put your spin on it so you can give the book away for free as your reader magnet. Ah! Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Okay. So yeah, read the book if you haven't already, or get some synopsis, or go read the audiobook, or whatever it is that you can do. And then what you're going to do is come up with, in your case, I would try to aim for 2 to 3 pages, right? So about 500 words or so. And write in, basically introduce the book and how it inspired you, and how the author inspired you for this book, and how it has helped shape you as an author. Okay? And then, yeah, slap that onto the front of Beowulf with a new cover that says something like, blah, 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 Beowulf by the original author, et cetera, right? And then with forward by Ember Drake. And then, anyway, yeah, then moving over to the reader magnet part, you're going to have like a whole sign up form where he says, get this free book, Beowulf, with forward by Ember Drake. And people will give you their email address. They'll sign up for that because they're like, they all want a free book. So they sign up for that, and there you go. Then you deliver it digitally. Make sure it's ebook. Yeah, sorry. My brain was not on for that one. I'm like, how does that work? You don't do I'm dumb. Not a refrigerator magnet. No, it's, it attracts readers to you, right? So you think about, what does my reader want? And my favorite lead magnet, so I'm really glad that Ember's doing this. My favorite lead magnet for readers is to go to Gutenberg and get a book that's out of the public domain. Because what do readers want? They want more books. Oh, hold on one second. I'm sorry. Hang on. Sorry.
So this is what it was. This all just part of everything. A little bit of everything.
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah. So everything should be done now. The garbage disposal is working. Missing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Right? So it's not, you don't have a leak or anything. I just double checked it. You're good.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. You have a nice day.
You too. Happy New Year.
Same to you. Happy New Year.
Okay. Yay, my sink is fixed. Anyway, okay. So my favorite reader magnet for authors is to go to Gutenberg.org, right? Which is all these books that are in the public domain. Find one that your reader would probably like, right? So like in Ember's case, they love dragons. Your reader probably loves dragons. Go find a book up there that has to do with dragons. Or if you're doing like fantasy and stuff, you can get like Alice in Wonderland or Through the Looking Glass, or, like there's so many there, right? And they're all public domain. What you cannot do is pretend that you wrote them. But you take the book and then you annotate it. I'm in the middle of one right now, Element of Style, which is an old writing craft and editing book that's in the public domain. So I'm annotating that so that I can give that away with my annotations. You want to change it. You don't want to just take it and go, although you can take it and go, but you also want to add something for it. The reason I like it is because readers love books. Readers just want books. They want more books. They don't, books. If it's a book, if it's a free book, they're going to take it. If you release free chapter, which is very popular. A lot of authors use that. Get a free chapter of my book. And the thought is someone will read the free chapter of that book, fall in love with it, want to know what's next, and then want to buy the book, right? And it does work, up to, it does work, provided that they read it. No one has to read the other book, which is what I like. In Ember's case, people will sign up for the book because brand new book, they want the book. But even if they don't read it, what they're going to remember is she gave me a free book. All I had to do was give her an email address. You know what I mean? And like they start making that association. Hey, we're damaged. Here's your journal to work on that. Yeah, but yeah, actually, you could put together a mindset journal, a guided meditation journal or something, guided affirmations. Think about it. Any of those things, you get people, you would draw people right to you. But the point is, for the free book idea, no one there, if they don't read it, it almost doesn't matter. They just know that they love it even without reading it because it's Beowulf, and hence you gave them a free book, so they're going to love you. So then when you come out and you say, hey, guess what? My book is out, they're even more inclined to do it. So what you do is you get the form set up, people fill out the form, they give you their email address, and in return, you have an autoresponder set up. I use SendFox now, but a lot of people use MailerLite. But they get an email that says, hey, here's that free book that you ordered. Thank you. Or that you asked for. Thank you so much. Blah, blah, blah. Enjoy. Here's the link. Then about 5 or 6 hours later, you have another one go out that says something like, I just wanted to make sure you got that thing because I'm not going to be able to sleep if you didn't. So could you either, if not, if you didn't see my other email, here's the link where you can download the book. If so, could you just reply to my email and let me know that you got it? Yes, you will get flooded with a bunch of replies. You can choose to respond to them or not. You can, automate or whatever. But that's going to start a conversation because replies to emails start conversations to help keep our emails into the primary box and out of the promotions box because it's just a simple conversation. And now they're talking to you and they're either, hopefully downloading. Some of them will ignore, but some of them will reply and be like, yeah, I got it. Thanks. And now they're talking to you. Now they're becoming friends. These are ebooks. Yes. So when you go to Gutenberg.org, they have them, like when you do a search, they'll have the book in several different formats. You'll find the PDF, the rich text, sometimes you'll find an HTML where it's just like a really simple site that you can just copy paste. You download the files, format. Sometimes there'll be like images of pages or whatever. Find the files and format and put them together. I'm heartbroken because after talking with Alex, I think my book is going to be too long for KU. Taylor, have you thought, I'm going to ask you to plan. Have you thought about how you want to market your book? I want my book available for lower incomes, but I want to put overlays and bookmarks. Okay, so in that case, because that is definitely a KU strategy, right? In that case, have you thought about taking a look at your book? You're going to hate me later. You're going to hate me because this requires some plan. This requires you knowing where you're headed to with the end of your book. You can split it up. KU is a really great place for split ups and for taking a book and shortening it so that you create like more of a Netflix experience than a single book experience. You know what I mean? like where you get people binging on the story through a series of different books, and make sure that one book links to the other, links to the other, links to the other, so on and so forth. That requires planning, but that it's a really great strategy overall, because then you create a Netflix. The strategy is dependent on making sure that the book is engaging enough. Doesn't have to be short per se, but it has to be engaging enough and a fast read enough, which romance readers are scary fast, but it has to be a fast read enough that people will be able to sit down, and like when they finish that, they're clicking the link to see the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, kind of like we binge on Netflix. You have no idea how you would do that with this story. Find a good chapter break. I already have my massive cliffhanger planned. So finish the book. Let's start there. Finish the story. I'm going to stop saying book because you might have 10. Finish the story. The story is over when it's a mirror image of the opening, whatever the opening was. That's when the story is over. Finish the story. Then hire an editor if you need to, maybe not. Give yourself a break, go back in, and that's when you can start going, how does this all fit together, and where can I put some decent breaks? And then how do you tweak? Because obviously you would need, if you break it here, you would need to tweak the end and make sure whatever the micro cliffhanger is at the end of that chapter is a little bit bigger to get them to the next one, right? So little tweaks, and then make sure that the hooks at the beginning of each new book, or at the beginning of the other chapter that is now turning into the first chapter of the next book, is a little bit bigger. And that might require help from an editor. Maybe not. Maybe you can do it yourself. I don't know, because I don't know how much you want to get into the planning, and that's the kind of stuff that requires planning. So I don't know. If that doesn't sound like something you want to do, hire an editor to help you do it. And you just be like, look, this is the story I wrote. This is how I want it rewritten. Like, I want the bulk of the story here, but I need these minor tweaks to like adjust and fit my strategy for how I want to sell it. Does that make sense? Making bookmarks with quotes as gifts if the reader buys a hard copy versus the ebook. That is so sweet. I love it. This book is looking like 130 to 150,000 words, and it's the first book in 4 books was the original plan. Why is that too long for KU? I don't understand. Why is that too long? I don't think that's too long. It is long, but I don't think it's too long. The profits. Okay, so the way that KU works, it comes down to engagement. So the way that KU works, put your butt down. Either go to bed. Listen. Every time I move, you do not need to do the whole stretchy thing. Sorry. Anyway, so the way that KU works, this is going to come down to engagement. The way that KU works is people sit down with the book, right? They sit down with their Kindle. They just bought this book. They want to open it. You want them reading right away, and you want them to read as much as they can in that time, which means that's got to be a lot of micro cliffhangers at the end of chapters and stuff. You want to get them. You know how like when you sit down in the middle, well, at any point in time, you sit down, you're reading a book, you're like one more chapter, and you get to the end of the chapter, and there's this question mark in your brain, and you're like, well, I have to know what happens next. And so you start the next chapter, and you're relieved. You got the answer right away. You had micro cliffhanger down here at the end of this chapter, and then the hook in the next chapter gave you the answer. You didn't have to wait long. So you get the answer, but now you've started that chapter. We're like hardwired to have to finish a chapter. So, well, now we may as well go ahead and finish this chapter, right? So you want to do that throughout your book, because it's even easier to put down a book on KU than it is a regular paperback book. It's even easier to put it down. So when they're reading, you want them to read as many pages as possible that first time. So you only want to really push your books, say, at night. Not late at night, but like post your promotional stuff at, say, 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Because most readers, they go and they get the book and they deliver it right away, and then they sit down and then they look at it. And you want them to look at it and start reading, right? You want them to get hooked in reading, because that first time they open it, that's the part that you're getting paid for. If they put the book down and go away and come back 3 months later and finish reading it, you're not getting paid for that. You get paid for what they read. So you got to make it super engaging, and you just got to strategize around that. But that's also where you're going to like take a hint from YouTube, right? What do you see a lot of YouTube people do, right? When you can tell when their viewership starts going down, and if you line up, you know, when you hover over the bar at the end, at the bottom of a YouTube video, and you can see like most replayed, the lowest parts, that's where they have a card or recommendation or something that says, go check out this video. Like you could link to your next book or whatever it is that you can do, but you have strategies where you put in more cliffhangers, put in more engagement, make it to where they can't put it down and keep going for as long as they can. But there's no limitation that says that they can't do it. And they will continue reading. You just want that first chunk when they first sit down to be as much as possible. 15 chapters later, yeah. Yeah, length doesn't matter. If it's engaging, if it's got those little cliffhangers, if it's drawn them in, it's got the hooks, the length won't even matter. I don't think you can do extras on KU. I think it's pretty much just the book. But there are other things you can do. Like you can still do links. You can have links, because a Kindle book is a Kindle book. The same Kindle book that you put up in for to buy is the same Kindle book. It's the same file that goes into KU. There are some restrictions here or there, but you can still have links in there. So you can't do like the overlays, but you can have the links, and then the links go to a landing page on your site, and then the landing page says, hey, would you like the maps for this book? Drop your email below and I will send you the maps to the book. So make a school interesting. I accept your challenge. Brilliant. So I want them to want to finish it in one sitting. Yes, or at least get as far as possible. You want them to sit down and, yes. That's really where it gets rough. And that's it. Because like for nonfiction readers and whatnot, depending on the book, right? I mean, nonfiction can also be really exciting and engaging, or it can be super dry, right? Like, I'm reading this because I have to, but oh my God, it's hard, right? Hello, Kylie. Did you get your book? I want the bookmarks and overlays so they don't have to flip back and forth. Well, I don't know how to do that on regular Kindle, so. I don't know how to do that on ebook. I mean, bookmarks, yeah, but overlays, I don't know how to do. Yay! Oh, I'm glad. You got here just in time because I have to go. I heard you can't add extras with your physical books if you sell through KU. You can't sell physical books through KU. So it doesn't matter. KU is ebook only, and it's exclusive for your ebook only. You can do whatever you want with your physical books. Now I am super confused by that person that said that. I am too. But if you send me the link to whatever the post or the video is, because this could just be a game of telephone, right? Or operator, or whatever that game was, you know, when one kid whispers into the next ear and then you get to the end and it's something completely different. Could just be that. So, but if you send me the link to the post or the video or whatever, I can like see if maybe there's more information that I need or something. It was a while ago. Telephone. That was it? Telephone? That's why I'm going to stay away from KU altogether. I am not doing KU. KU works really well for authors who strategize and plan for it. No, but sorry. No, I mean, it does take a specific strategy that is based on keep readers reading. Basically, keep readers reading. You get them to sit down, grab a book and read, and want to read the next one and want to read the next one, and like creating a Netflix effect. I don't have a better word for it, but like you want them to sit down and binge read. That's what you want them to do. Paperbacks, it almost doesn't matter. If someone buys a paperback and puts it up on their shelf, it almost doesn't matter if they never read it. If they love you because of your marketing, they're still going to buy your next book because they love you. And they're going to be like, oh my God, I've read all their books. Do you know how many times in my life I've said I've read all of Stephen King's books? And I don't think I have. I'm pretty sure I've only read like maybe 3/4 of them. I'm sure, because, and the reason I know that I haven't is because every once in a while someone will be like, have you read this book? It's by Stephen King. And I'm like, I didn't know that was a book. I hadn't heard of that before. Now, back in the 70s, yes. The early 80s, yes, I had. But he only had like 10 books out. So yeah, I read them all. But now, no way. Do I buy him? Yeah, because I love him. As soon as I hear a brand new book, I'm like, I know I'm going to love it. I'm going to get it. Other authors too. We do this with everyone. We like an author, we buy the book, and we know we love it, and we even recommend it based on how much we love the author, either because we read a book before or because we watch all their marketing or whatever. And we'll recommend, oh my God, I just found this book that was blah, blah, blah. I haven't read Sympathy for the Devil yet, but I'm going to recommend it to people. People go buy it because I love Ember. It's a lot of books to read. Right. They said when you sign up to sell on KU, you can't add extras with your physical books sold on Amazon. I don't understand what that means. Hang on. I don't know what that means, and I gotta go. So this might have to wait. Oh, that's not KU though. If you choose to include bonus content, other stories, or previews of other books that are not part of your book's title, it should be relevant to the customer and should not disrupt the reading experience. To meet these guidelines, we require placing additional content at the end of the book and listing the bonus content in your book's table of contents. To provide an optimal customer experience, bonus content should make up no more than around 10% of your book. If you would like to include multiple stories within your book, consider creating a collection of works. When selecting your book's title, always make sure to follow the metadata guidelines. Primary and bonus content must meet all program guidelines. For example, bonus content in KDP select titles must be exclusive. Translated content must be high quality and not machine generated. Disruptive links and promises of gifts or rewards are never allowed. Yeah, so either policies have changed since whatever it was you saw, or they misunderstood that to prevent book stuffing. Yeah. So they could have misunderstood the policies, or the policies has changed since then. No promises of gifts. So depending on what they mean by that, shakes fist. Depending on what they mean by that, that doesn't stop anyone from reader magnets, but that's not a gift. So, I don't know. I love you too. All right. I got to run. That's up on the KDP terms and service. So you can go read it and interpret it for yourself. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. I do have to go. Yeah, it's just saying that whatever you put in there has to meet the guidelines. So, like, I'm not doing Kindle Unlimited. I don't do it. But if I were to do it, so in my book, I have links. Well, in the physical book, I have QR codes. But in the ebook, I have links, right? And it says something like, blah, 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 work on your author persona, start getting used to calling yourself an author and see who you are as an author, right? Here's a worksheet that you can use to help you develop your author persona. You click the link or you scan the QR code. You go to a landing page where you can put in your email address and download it, right? If I were in KU, if that link was in a book that was in KU, I couldn't share the link anywhere else. It has to be exclusive. It has to meet those guidelines. You can't have that and then have the same link somewhere else. That's how I took that. All right, y'all. Have an amazing day. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will talk to y'all tomorrow, okay? Go get all the words written.